There's no reason why, like, if you got partners or if you're in a relationship, hey, all right, babe, boom, you got your book, I got my book. You got your workbook, I got my workbook. You know what I'm saying? I got my digital, you got your digital. You got a course, I got a course. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone should be in position with assets that they can utilize to monetize.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of Attractive Mindset. And today's guest, which was a guest from before, but we'll have a conversation about that too, is not only this man a legend within the podcast industry, but he goes on tour like he's in an R&B group or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about hit after hit after hit after stage after everywhere. You see this man in Cali, East Coast, Atlanta, everywhere. And this man just drops knowledge on a whole different type of level. I'm going to let him tell you a little bit more about himself, Mr. Brendan.
Yo, bro, I appreciate you, man. I'm excited for this one. You know what I'm saying? I'm super excited for this one for a couple reasons. One, technically, this is supposed to be the part 2.
It is.
Right? So I think we ended talking about like my background, family, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Then also, since we already got rapport, a lot has happened since the first one, which we could talk about. Still waiting for my sunglasses.
I got.
You know what I'm saying? I thought I was coming to get them. You know what I'm saying? No cap. Thought I was coming to get them. And then, I also want to give you some flowers and praise because, you've been affecting so many people. You know what I'm saying? And supporting, leading the torch, inspiring, and all that stuff in real time. You know what I'm saying? But before we get into all that, yeah, man, Brendan Boyd, digital media entrepreneur. What is that? Right? That's somebody that's combined digital marketing as a digital marketer and then also as a podcaster. What I do is I help business owners and entrepreneurs get more exposure through podcast guesting specifically, and also help podcasters like yourself and other podcasters out there monetize their shows through creative avenues.
That's dope, y'all. Y'all really got to tap in with this digital marketing kind of world, this podcast world. Like, well, the first part, which like he said was supposed to be the part 1 when he came on here, we just had a conversation, and this is my first year in podcasting. And, even just that conversation with him opened the door to me alone in just a whole lot of different ways. And we made a lot of money.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear about it, bro. I actually, have you been to one of my workshops, like the virtual workshops yet?
Nah, I haven't.
So you have. So I actually feature one of your testimonials in the workshop. But then it's cool because I give the testimony, which is already a win. And then I followed up the screenshot that you sent me when you just like, you hit the 34 bag, you know what I'm saying? Which is crazy. So I was showing them in real time and stuff. But what's dope about you, and I feel like it's a lot what a lot of people don't do, right? Is when you get access to information that's free, most people don't act on it regardless how much it may make sense, right? We had just met during the initial pod, right? I shared some gems on that episode. And not only did you listen and take heed to what I was saying, you implemented it. And then you showed me after the fact. And I'm like, yo, this dude talking about he's 6 for 6. What you talking about, bro? You talking about these folders and everything. But what he was talking about was the VIP packages. You know what I'm saying? And I'll let you kind of go from there, man. Like what hit you about an asset that you had anyway that you were just kind of giving away to then, package it to be monetized and since that conversation, like what has happened?
Yeah, so basically, it presented a different way to just promote. And so the way that I was really promoting from before was just, okay, cool. Let's get them on here. Let's work something out. And the very least we can go off and I have other services that they could connect to. And so that was the big connection point for me personally. But then when you came on there and you were like, nah, just turn it into the content folder and do this and VIP and this. And it just hit. It just clicked. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, this is really a vibe. Like, this is really a hit. And then there was other gems that you dropped, and I'm not gonna give away all that sauce because that
I got more, bro.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. You always gaining some sauce, but
talk about some stuff
we
today.
Went to a mastermind, which I I don't give a shit about that mastermind, but you presenting there and some of the people that I met there.
That was interesting though.
Phenomenal.
That mastermind was interesting on a couple different levels, and I don't mean to take the conversation, because I want you to keep going. I just want, make a notation here, is that it was interesting because none of us knew what to expect. Some things were revealed. But then some really good relationships came out of that.
100%.
Some really good content came out of that. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of like when you come from an environment that's not the best environment, but you came out of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. It's like we thought it was gonna be a fire environment.
Facts.
It turned out to be a questionable environment, but a lot of dope stuff came out of it.
Facts. A lot of dope networking, a lot of dope, just link ups. And so that's why I feel like everybody's mad, but not mad.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, there was a bigger benefit in the end. And I honestly, that's how God works.
Yeah, fact.
Is, sometimes you end up in a shitty situation and making the best of it or looking at the more positive side of it. What was the real takeaway? And that's exactly what happened. But I didn't have digital products on this side of the house before I went there and heard, your presentation and the way you had everything just listed out and this and that. And, and I was like, yo, we finna go on this yacht. And right when we went on the yacht, I made 15 bands off that yacht.
Crazy.
And I'm like, yo, okay, cool. And that was a free yacht. Hey, this is why y'all got to pop out to some of these things.
And how you make the 15 bands?
And so with the 15 bands, it was just, instead of me, being personal and making it a connection, a connect to a connect, I made a digital version of myself essentially in a bundle and was able to just put that in front of more people. So it became a numbers game.
Yeah.
And so instead of me trying to explain everything to somebody on the boat, I'm like, yo, just check this out. And I made it into a link. And so me saying that to multiple people in our conversation at this networking event, I didn't have that kind of visual proof beforehand. And so I would have to explain myself to people, and I would still get a couple people every now and then, but me actually giving them that format, they're like, where do I sign up?
So what was the link to?
The link was to my services. And so that's the first time I had really put it in like a digital format behind a website too. So they got to see like the about me, they got to see the services, the pricing points, what they actually get in the services, the breakdown, businesses that I work with already, all of that type of stuff, but just from a digital aspect.
Got you.
And that was something that I didn't have it before. And that was something that you mentioned in there, like, yo, you got to be able to package your stuff, put it on there. Even if you shot a podcast episode, you can low-key make that a course and do this and do that. And so I thought about that and I just framed it into my coaching sessions. And I was like, okay, cool. If I take piece of this from this coaching session and piece of this, I make it a digital package version of that and really put it out there, we should hit.
So you went crazy.
I went crazy, and I was showing Dan the numbers, and I was like, yeah. He was like, what the fuck just happened?
Big facts.
He was like, what just happened? And, you know, it got to a point where we was with some people, and, you know, that's how you really start to see who really wants you to win. Because if they feel like you bragging, and I'm just excited because I wasn't doing it. Like, I've always been making money, don't get me wrong, but when you come into an area as a student, and you're willing to learn a different way to make money, you know, you really got that childlike kind of excitement again. And so I'm showing people that, yo, we pulling in some racks and this and that. And you know, they're not even responding or, oh, that's what's up.
You was doing this over a call in person?
And just text message, using some group chats and shit like that.
All of a sudden niggas is busy when they hear
that. All of a sudden they busy as hell. You know, nobody want to comment on shit and everything. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So, you know, it is what it is.
Can we use real numbers?
Yeah.
All right. So, between when we first met and let's say today,
40
bands.
Yeah.
And that was like July or mid-July.
Mm-hmm.
So mid-July to the beginning of October, 40 bands. So you got basically August, September. So like almost 3 months. 40 bands in almost 3 months.
40 digitally.
So that's basically like 13, 14 grand on the top of what you was already doing per month.
Correct.
That's crazy, bro. If you wasn't so far with me, well, we get the virtual high five. You know what I'm saying? And that's dope, man. You know why that's dope? Because not a lot of people are going to respect free information
Mm-hmm.
to the point where they're going to implement the information, make adjustments in real time. You know what I'm saying? And the dope thing is that every time we've connected after that, you know, through text or call, whatever, or even on the gram, it's always been one in which has been what's the word I can say? A great camaraderie to growth.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way I can say it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, yo, bro, when I see you, boom, it's all love. Like, and I feel like that's the type of environment and energy that you want. And it's like, I watched this podcast last week and it was talking about like day twos. So day twos is like people that you may meet along your journey that are opposite to what you just said. Like, yo, 40 in less than 3 months, bro, what's up? We should have did 50.
Facts.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
It's like, yo, what do you feel like prevented you from hitting the 50? Was it a call? Was it, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying the answer, but I'm saying that's the type of, you like, yo, that's fire, but bro, like, could you have made a couple calls? Could you had a couple, you know what I'm saying? It's like that.
Yeah.
And you're not really going to get that from day ones because a lot of day ones know you from a certain, like, so they're not always going to see you grow. Mm-hmm. The same version. They're used to the version of you that you play video games with.
And so as long as you making it different, they're going to just be happy for you somewhat in that type of sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
then there's people that you feel like should be, bro, what's up? What we doing?
Yeah.
And they like, nah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you meet people randomly in random places that you don't expect, and then y'all end up locking in.
Now, most definitely. So I got a question for you. How do you feel? Because this has been coming up a little bit more lately.
Yeah.
How would you feel, or would you be offended, I should say, if I introduce you, or if you introduce me to somebody and then you really hit it off with that person and then you work with that person more than you work with the individual you introduce them to?
Nah, I wouldn't feel no way about that, bro, because it's like me. Okay, let's use you, real example. Mm-hmm. So think about this. We met through Wayne, right? Mm-hmm. Boom. Me and Wayne never really worked together, right? Me and you have done a little bit more than me and Wayne have done since our relationship started.
Yeah.
So would he feel a way about it? I don't know. But to me, I don't feel no way about it. So let's switch it up. There's two ways you can go about it, right? One would be if you're strategic and you really want to have some type of equity or ownership or just be involved in transactions, you could do an overlap agreement, which is what one of my mentors gave me, right? It's basically a form that's like, yo, it's like you're consulting relationships. It's like, yo, Rich, I'm gonna connect you with this dude. He does X, Y, Z. You do A, B, C. If something comes out of that, 5%. You know what I'm saying? So you can actually officially do that. If you don't do that, right? Because that can also be like, damn, you know, this dude's trying to like, nah, it's like, this is how businesses work. You put a mechanism in place.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? If money's made over here, it wouldn't be made without that relationship. The other thing you can look at is like, damn, I connected these dudes, yo. I feel like I'm left out in the cold. Like, they rocking. I don't even feel like I'm in their energy. But it's like, that shows more about who you are than what they got going on. Because you should still be locked into that initial relationship if you have one. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to be a little bit more involved in what they got going on, let's just say, then you can inquire. But me personally, I don't have any remorse towards any relationships that I cultivate and then they go off and they have success, because at the end of the day, I'm confident in who I am and I'm working towards that Mamba mentality, being the best version that I can be in every single day. You know what I'm saying? And not and what they may have going on, it doesn't take away from me, nor is a part of the design that God may have for me. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't feel no way about it.
And so I already know your answer to this next question I got for you, but I want them to hear you explain it a little more. So with the amount that you give as far as like free information that you could 100% be monetizing, when people really start to like do numbers off of it and make money off of it, does that make you feel some type of way?
Bro, I'm gonna use you another example, bro. I'm happy as fuck for you right now. You know what I'm saying? I want you to do 100 before the year is over. You know why? Because if I'm in alignment with your success, it makes me more excited to then want to do more. You know what I'm saying? And then it's social proof for someone else that may have a podcast or maybe wanting to launch a podcast, that the systems and strategies that I have, the information that I present, actually creates results. And let's be 100% clear. Rich ain't pay me. I ain't pay Rich. We ain't really 100% locked into a course or a program, and he has results. So just imagine if we had more time building Connect and he was in a program. So I'm just saying that to show y'all this ain't rehearsed or premeditated or anything like that. So for me, nah, bro, I'd be excited. Like, I'm like, bro, let's go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because let's look at the landscape. And I thought about this the other day. Who is really in this space that's teaching podcast monetization, right? Or how to grow your show? Now, there's a couple of heads that's teaching how to grow your show. And there are monetization strategies. Traditionally, they're going to be sponsorships, brand deals, monetizing your YouTube channel, and then merch. Those are the defaults. You know what I'm saying? And then most people are going to teach you, hey, this is how you get more downloads. This is how you can maybe stream more. You know what I'm saying? This is how you set your show up or whatever like that. I don't teach like that. My YouTube, I got less than 4,000 subs. My download numbers on my podcast, bro, it's less than 100. I don't care about that. I want to monetize the show. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm showing people how you could do 5 figures and position yourself to do 6 figures by creatively having offers and strategically having different packages, you know what I'm saying, as options to monetize your show. You know what I'm saying? And since the last time that we met, I got other sauce that I'm happy to just present on your podcast to give people frameworks that they could work within to monetize. Right now, if you got more downloads, if you got more views, can you monetize more on that? 100%. But I'm showing you in real time that you don't need that. Most people are going to struggle to just focus on that. And along that path, you're not going to make no money. So if you just worry about, you know what, I need to get to 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subs, you still can't make money on YouTube. Yeah. Because you got to pass that $100 threshold before they even release the money to you. You could be like, damn, I got $99 on YouTube, but I didn't hit the 100. Better try next month, bro. Damn. You know what I'm saying? Because they got a threshold. You got to hit $100 for them to release the money. That's the minimum. So if you at $91 for the month, they're not giving you the money. And it don't roll over. You got to try again next month.
What? It don't roll over?
Ain't no rollovers, bro.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
So the way I kind of present it is how one could, okay, you know what? This is an offer here. This is another way you can monetize. Here's another offer. Here's another way you can monetize. To show people that they don't need heavy numbers, heavy streams, heavy downloads, heavy subs to start really getting to a bag.
Okay, no, that's definitely dope. And so one thing I do want you to touch on too is, how do you have so much stage presence? Like, you literally are on every stage possible. And if you're not, you create your own. How does somebody get on that level?
Man, to be honest with you, bro, it came out of a problem that I had. And I feel like a lot of business owners have this problem and this exposure. So if you don't have a lot of money, or if you don't really have a marketing budget, you can create these opportunities, right? So we're in Florida right now, right? In Florida right now, I probably have over 31 relationships with podcasters. Some charge, some don't charge, right? So what one person could do is, if they can even go locally, start doing some research. What are some stages that I can get on? Who has a podcast? Who has a YouTube show? Who has a live, maybe they got a live show or something that I could build a relationship with, and I could take my information that I have and I could bring value to their platform, right? And then I could give that to their community. Now, this is the thing. You got to be able to bring value, right? You got to talk confidently about, your product, your service, where you are, and you have to be able to over deliver. And I think through that process, that's where you're going to get better. That's where you're going to refine, your presence. That's where you're going to refine your messaging. That's where you're going to be able to connect with different people And then when people start searching you, what happens is you become more findable, more searchable, more edifiable, and you start to become synonymous with your category and your subject area of expertise. And anyone can do that. Now, to expedite it, you just spend money and go on bigger platforms. You know what I'm saying?
So have you done that?
I'm in the process of doing that right now. So there's some bigger platforms. It's gonna cost me about $70,000. It's like 3 of them. Yeah, it's gonna cost me like 70, but I'm probably gonna make $1 million off of it.
Sheesh.
You know what I'm saying? But if you don't got the money up front, it's cool. Light up all the shows that's earned media or don't cost anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I would do it before people start charging. Because at some point, if those platforms start heating up, there's going to be a ticket. But at the same time, I think if you're serious about your product, service, your business, you should have a budget for marketing. It's how people find you. It's how they're going to learn about what you do. So if you don't market, if you keep marketing to the same people, you're going to get the same exact results.
And so, okay, so I want to pivot real quick. You said, you got about 70 going towards these platforms, but you about to make $1 million off of that.
Yeah.
What makes you enabled to say that with confidence? What do you have lined up on the back end that you feel like puts you in position to be like, yeah, I'm going to go on here and I'm going to leverage this to the highest level?
Digital products and fulfillment. You know what I'm saying? So number one is like, you got to give to receive. So I'm going to go on those platforms. I'm going to light them up. I'm going to then give them something of value and capture the data. Then as the data is captured, I'm going to put them through, a back-end process within a funnel, right? Now the funnel is going to kick them something for free. And then from there, they're either going to go to a free workshop, you know what I'm saying? Or it might be a book a call situation. Most likely it's going to be a free workshop around that information. So as they're in that flow, we can monetize a digital product on the front end through a bridge offer before that workshop. And then as they get in that workshop or whatever case may be, we have a presentation, then we can close them on the back end. But guess what? I have all the data. I own all the information.
Yeah.
So every time somebody registers through that text keyword, we own now their name, number, email. So if you go on these heavy platforms, you're getting a lot of information through the funnel at one time. So I sent three of my biggest clients on some big platforms. They've gotten over 4,000 data points off the first week. You know what I'm saying? So that's 4,000 contacts. So, if you got 4,000 contacts, let's say out of that 4,000, 5%, engage. That's 400. 200, right? Engage. Now, out of that 200, what if you got a product that's $5,000? That's $1 million. But what if everyone don't buy that, but they buy, they lock into a community, which might be recurring. They lock into a course that could be $997 or less. They lock into more digital products. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole formula where you can monetize within email marketing, right? So you can have, one of my mentors showed me a strategy that I've been implementing where you can have 4 to 6 different digital products low ticket in the email and constantly be selling those digital products within the emails constantly, week to week. So it just creates an influx of opportunities for you to grow and scale. But that's only 20% of the impact, which is on the front end. Most of the impact is on the back end, and that's where a lot of people don't take advantage of. So let's say here, you get on a big platform. You can take the content or clips from that set and that energy and that edification from the host. And then you can repost that on your platform. You can redistribute that on shout out pages. You can redistribute that on secondary pages, meme accounts. Now you start to look bigger because it's like, damn, you was on this account. You was on this platform. That's going to trigger to all these other podcasts that you was on. Because now they're going to search for you. Who's this dude? Who's Moneybagg Rich? He just went on, XYZ podcast went crazy. Look, what else he got? Boom, boom, boom. They're going to be searching for you. So now they're going to be paying attention to it's like, if you get edification from someone else that's in a higher light than you, maybe have a level of celebrity, more credibility, you're going to by default get hit with that same energy, that same light, because you're in proximity. So they're going to start looking at you like they look at this next person. Or if this next person is like, yeah, this is a dude that does my funnels, or this is a dude that I was just on his pod, or this is a dude that, you know, he's my strategist or whatever. All of a sudden, you're going to be the go-to person. So my plan is to continue to get exposure, intentionally be in front of people, you know, collab and go on these bigger platforms, give the heavy game, get way more exposure, and then, you know, fulfill these clients on the back end.
Nah, that's definitely, that right there is just I feel like it's going to go over a lot of people's heads. And even in you just saying that, like from the first 3 minutes of how you even started that conversation, I was about to say, B, I'm finna do it again, because you just triggered something in my head that wasn't clicking to me. It made sense, but it wasn't clicking to me until you said it a certain type of way. And so I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm finna add another 50 before this year ends.
Yeah, bro, you can lock in if you want, bro. We run it back together. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. And that's,
you know what
that's what I'm saying. And so, okay. And so with a funnel now, how important is it to really have that funnel set up, and what are all the dynamics you have on that funnel?
So this is the thing. In the simplest term, because it may be some people, I'm looking at y'all right now, it may be some people that don't know what a funnel is, but I'm pretty sure you've been to IKEA. So if you go to IKEA, you know that there's one way in and there's one way out. You can't just go to the, let's say, the living room set area without walking through the kitchen, or vice versa, right? They show you the entire IKEA, everything they have to offer, with the hopes that, yeah, you might want to go in there and get a spatula, but you're going to end with a spatula, pillow, toolkit, you know what I'm saying? You got a bedding set, you know what I mean? So that's essentially what a funnel is. What you're going to do is, instead of having products on a traditional website and assuming that the user, the viewer, is going to go on a site and magically find what you're showing them, they're most likely going to get fatigue. So if you take your product or service, I mean, and this is the thing, on your website is like a menu, but then all your options on the website should be broken down into solo sites. And your solo site is your funnel for that particular product. So if I lock in, and let's say I have like an ebook, the ebook should be on a funnel. I see so many people that's like, yo, I just got Amazon bestseller. And it's like, bro, I'm excited for y'all, but y'all missing the ball.
And so even when you say ebook, like, define an ebook, because I've been telling people a certain way about ebooks, and somehow they don't seem to understand that. So what's an ebook that you would put into that kind of funnel? What goes into that ebook?
100%. All right, so check this out. This is a difference between a digital product and a physical product, all right? Now, a digital product is anything that exists in an electronic form. You do not have to put your hands on it. You're not touching it, and you're not physically fulfilling it, right? A physical product is anything that is actually physically tangible, and you have to physically ship it or handle it to fulfill it. So what's good about a digital product, you do the work one time, you can sell it forever. And if it's automated, you don't even got to fulfill it. It'll fulfill itself. With a physical product, you can run out. You got to repackage, right? You got to re-up. You got to physically ship it. You can automate it, but there's still areas where you may need to touch, or you actually may have some fulfillment potential issues that you have to take care of because it's tangible. So ebook is one type of digital product. And essentially what the ebook is, look at it like this. It's an electronic manuscript or an electronic format of a book, right? So it's going to exist in potentially like a PDF form or an audio form. It could be a video form. But essentially what you want to do is you'll get a cover, which will be like a graphic art, again, PDF. You'll take the manuscript that is that book in different chapters or whatever, and then you'll have your conclusion. Maybe it's 22 pages, 30-page PDF, long form. That's the digital product. You're going to package up your knowledge, your information, give someone directions, a solution, and then they can purchase that one time, and then you can resell it over and over and over and over and over. So that's going to be what a digital product is. And one of the most common forms is an ebook. There's a lot more. It's anything that you could imagine that could be digital, which we could go through if you want. But an ebook would probably be one of the most popular ones right now.
Got it. And that's where the funnel starts.
That's where you can have an ebook funnel.
Got you.
Right. So I'll give you a breakdown on the ebook funnel. Right. Shout out to Neo for this one too. So on the ebook funnel, your first page could be, let's pretend we're making one right now. So let's say you and I collab on a book. Damn, this is gonna be good too. I'm gonna tell you how we can circle back on this. So let's say me and Rich collaborate on a book, right? On the first page of the ebook funnel is me and you in a video, right? Hey, what up? This is Brenny. Hey, what's up? This is Brendan, Moneybag Rich. We just put together this, quick little format to help you get to that next level. So listen, all you need to do is fill out your information, click your link below, grab your brand new book about XYZ, right? Little video of us kind of going crazy. So on our first page, it'll be, let's say, a video of us, some information, copy on the book or whatever. And then you're going to have either a pop-up or a form that's going to collect data. Why that's important? Because whether they buy the book or not, we're able to contact them on the back end.
Correct.
And that's where a lot of people drop the ball at when you go straight to Amazon, because Amazon has all the data and you don't even know who bought your book. You can't even thank the people that bought your book. You know what I'm saying? So the second page, then we'll probably take them to an order form. You know what I'm saying? They could purchase the book, right? Now, when they purchase the book and put the book in their cart, we can have some bumps. And what a bump is like
an add-on.
An add-on. Let's say you're going to the movies, you got your ticket, you might want popcorn, candy, you know what I'm saying, a soda, some water, something. Your lady or the guy you with may want something to eat, whatever. Those are all bumps, right? Those you can get a bundle or you can get individual assets, right? Those are all bumps. You can even have merch in there. Now, if I add a bump, it's going to increase the value. So if the book's $47, I add something that's $50. Now the value moved from 47 to 97. They can get whatever bumps you have in there, right? Then let's say they get a bump or don't get a bump. So let's say in this case, they got the bump. Now, instead of paying 47, they pay 97. Now they go to the next page, right? So think about that workshop that you saw me do. There was only a short amount of people in the room. What if we package that up as a digital product, made that a recording that now if you weren't in our room, you can get the recording for a one-time offer of $99. So now, if they want that, right, because it's called an OTO page, one-time offer page. Now from then, they can get that recording if you weren't in a room, right, at the mastermind for $99. So now it moved from $97 to, if we add 100, that's $106, right? $106, right? Is my math right?
No.
$116, right?
Yeah.
$116, right? Thanks for the correction. $116. So boom, if they don't take it, we can resell them or re-offer the same thing for less money because it's digital. It don't matter whether they take it or not. It's all ROI positive.
Yeah.
So let's say we offer that instead of the 99, we offered them for 49, right? And then so you got the opt-in page, you got the offer page, you got the bumps on the offer, OTO 1, OTO 2, and then finally we could do a thank you. Now, a thank you might be, hey, thank you for grabbing, Brendan's and Moneybag Rich's bundle, you know what I'm saying, and your bonuses and all of that stuff like that. We got one more thing for you. Let's say you and I got either a virtual event or a live event coming up, or maybe it might be the community, whatever. We thank the people for making the purchase and we give them one more offer. Hey, listen, you don't want to miss our virtual event that'll be coming up for the holidays. Get right for 2024. Lock in your spot right now for an additional $67. Get your live seat. It's a free 2-hour event. You want to go crazy. So we just showed them the ebook, maybe 3 or 4 bumps, OTO 1 or OTO 2 if they didn't want it, a thank you offer. So we increased the average card value from 47 up to possibly $200 to $300.
So this is a 5-page funnel.
4 to 5 page funnel, yep.
Okay.
Just for the ebook.
And so is the funnel something that somebody can make themselves, or do you recommend like a professional come in there and do that?
You can definitely do it yourself. It depends on how savvy the person is. A lot of people feel like they're not like technologically savvy or it might get confusing. You know what I'm saying? So if that's you, I would probably either, if you're a self-starter, I would get, a funnel software. You know what I'm saying? We have we can leave the link below. Shout out to the Lead Attraction System. And then you can get the guidance, watch modules, and do it on your own. But if you're someone that, you feel like, you know what? I actually need some coaching, or I need someone that can actually like walk me through physically, I could do this with, then, you just sign up for like it might be a couple calls or something, or you could just get in a program, whatever works for you. I mean, everyone has a different style of how they learn. You know what I'm saying? So there's different options. You can either just get the funnel software and then just go on YouTube and then just watch all the videos and go step by step. There's not like one way to do it. It just depends on how do you learn, how do you implement, you know what I'm saying? So if you're someone that's like, yo, I'm on a budget, you just need the funnel software, go on YouTube, watch videos, go crazy. If you're someone you're like, yo, I want to learn from the person that gave me the information, then I will lock in with that person and figure out which option is best suited for your style and invest on that level.
Nah, absolutely. And since he gave y'all the digital play, I'm going to give y'all the physical play. Because remember, this is my original realm. So I'm already making money in this realm. So to match the digital play, something that I implement with people as well is the free workbook offer.
Yeah.
And so this is like, it could be a manual, basically just outlining, either 3 or 4 prominent things that you sell within your service-based program or something like that. But you package it into like a workbook where they can get this workbook for free, but instead they just pay for shipping. And so, it might cost me for a full colored workbook and everything. Well, I just paid it the other day, $3.95 per book. And so I just got 500. So that's like 2,300. You know what I'm saying? And so now on the back end, where we have a funnel as well, except we're funneling this physical copy. What this does for marketing is, when's the last time you ever threw out a book? You know what I'm saying? And who is that person around? So now we're creating social proof, because a lot of people, and I'm guilty of it as well, I buy a shit ton of ebooks online because they're cheap, they're free or whatever, and I'll never open that shit. But with a book, even if they don't read it, even if they don't really utilize it to a high level, they'll put it on their coffee table or they'll put it on their bookshelf. And now people in that household, or if they're at the job or wherever they're at the office, are going to see that if you have a good design.
Marketing.
And so that's outer marketing now, and you're reaching an even grander audience. But now it's also something physical and tangible, to where somebody's going to be like, yo, locked in with this physical book, ready to do it, especially if you have a certain amount of social proof. People like to share things that you put out there, content, all of that type of stuff. Yo, my book just came in. Yo, I got this book. Yo, I got this book. And so now imagine if you have the same book, but you have an ebook version going to the people that prefer the digital content version of it.
Yeah.
And then you have the physical version of it, where if they want to get it, because you also do have people, and there's a good community of people that don't really tap into social media like that. They don't tap into online. They're not really on their phones as much. And they're around our age where they'll just not really be tuned in like that. So they want that physical copy. They want that planner. People still walk around with planners and everything. And so it's a whole other community where I see a lot of people get too caught up in just the digital aspect and leave that money on the table.
Well, let's break this down, bro. The same information, y'all can go crazy with it, right? Because you can do the ebook, you can do the ebook workbook, you can do the physical book, you can do the physical workbook, you can do the audio book. One of my favorites is a video book. You could do a mini course, you could do a full course, you could do a coloring book. Same information. You could do flashcards, you could do digital flashcards. You know what I'm saying? You could do a workshop, you could do a digital workshop. You challenge. You do a real life event, multiple days. You do a retreat. You know what I'm saying? All the same information. You can go speak on it. You could create a curriculum. All the same information. Children's books. Yeah, it could go crazy.
You just hit like 15 categories.
You know what I'm saying? All on the same information. Yep. So Rich is 100% correct when he says that And I think what's great about that is just showing, hey, listen, like, yeah, you really ain't got no excuse, because you might not be the digital product person, or maybe you feel like your audience isn't going to physically all, jump on that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe your wave is a physical wave, but you can have a funnel for a physical product and still have bumps and OTOs and all of that. I think my very first book funnel is a digital product, but one of the bumps is the physical book.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So you could do it that way too. So it's just to really say there's several ways for you to monetize your information. We're going into 2024. And I believe, like, if you're in a really good group of friends, partners, maybe you're in a relationship, I think if y'all really come together, you can cultivate something special. Like, there's no reason why, like, if you got partners or if you're in a relationship, hey, all right, babe, boom, you got your book, I got my book. You got your workbook, I got my workbook. You know what I'm saying? I got my digital, you got your digital. You got a course, I got a course. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone should be in position with assets that they can utilize to monetize. You know what I'm saying? And to what you said earlier, the ones that are not clapping for you or happy for you, this is opportunity. You're showing people, hey, listen, you can have the same assets that I have. We can break bread together. You know what I'm saying? We can put each other on. We can support each other. Or maybe you don't want to create that, but you can still make money with me because I have an affiliate. You can push that affiliate, make some money on the back end. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things that I'm even showing podcasters is like, yo, how about you make money by not even selling nothing? You know what I'm saying? Not fulfilling nothing, no customer service. I remade the product. Just sign up for the affiliate. Here's some commercials for your audio side, for the video side. Maybe you're a live read person. Here's the script. Register. Here's the assets. Go crazy. If someone sells or purchases because they see the product in your podcast or hear about the product in your podcast, you're going to get bread.
Facts.
Ain't no excuses, bro.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So I really like what you said there, because like you were sharing, if you far into the digital side, you can run the same play on the physical side, and you doing physical workbooks, you know what I'm saying, that people are tapping into. So you're really showing that they can get it. And at some point, that was it. It wasn't like Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi and the late great Bob Proctor, Jim Rome. They didn't have the digital products. They had cassettes, videos, CDs. It was physically selling those.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So 100%, like, you can go traditional or non-traditional, new age or old school, and get to the bag, bro. There's a lot of money out here.
And it turns into a conversation starter, because when we walk into the room, and that's why design is so important, what are people's eyes going to gravitate towards? What's your brand coloring? This is business psychology, and I'm a business mindset coach. And so this is something I'm giving y'all a game right now. I'm teaching this in the coaching programs, and it goes down to the psychology of how you really break that down, and what do you use to attract your audience. And so, we just had a pop-up shop with the bucket hats, and that pop-up shop was super successful for that day. Just different, implementing different strategies, connecting with the audience and everything. But only for that one, we're going to go do the same exact pop-up shop again, October 28th. And the last one was the 30th of last month. And so what I'm going to add now is the bucket hats that we have, but the physical workbooks. These are two different categories now. And so I got them used to seeing the bucket hats, which is merch already for the brand, which is, it just goes under the podcast. And it's like, okay, cool. Even people that don't wear bucket hats, I'm selling. I'm like, yo, you look really good in this, blah, blah, whatever. And so that aspect comes with it. But giving people something tangible to hold. Hey, what's this? Oh, this is, business mindset coaching. If you ever really thought about taking your business to the next level,
you just gave me an idea.
This is what we have, and this is what we really utilize and whatever. But when I go places, because it's that workbook format, and I do have a section in them for them to just take notes, they also have the information, and they can inquire more of my services if they go to the site. And of course, but it's like a walking funnel.
Yeah.
Is what I created with that workbook. And so I'm going to walk around with a workbook and use it as my kind of journal, but other people see it now. And I might leave it somewhere, whatever, because I'm a marketer, and so I spend time understanding how much we would spend on ads or how much we would spend on getting on somebody else's podcast or whatever. So for me to leave a book that I would sell for $30 or whatever is nothing depending on the room that I'm in.
Yeah, facts.
And so that's a whole play in itself.
Yeah. So the idea that you gave me, I'm gonna share it with the people, and I'm gonna make a new funnel out of it. So basically, I have this digital product that I made maybe almost a year and a half ago. It's called Workbook, all one word. And basically, it was my morning routine that I packaged up into a workbook. You know what I'm saying? I call it a workbook because it's like you wake up, you do this work, you're gonna be better. So initially it's basically my first ever digital product that I made, like my digital coaching, that I made into an actual ebook. And it's clickable, but it's all digital.
Yeah.
So you just, I did this today. These are my affirmations, here are some different meditations you could do. Here's some podcasts you can lock into. Like it's really detailed when you go through the pages. It talks about how to brain hack. You know what I'm saying? All those things I just put in the book. So what I'm gonna do too, I'm gonna run this play because Rich basically shared y'all with it, right? I'm gonna turn that into a physical book, right? But now I'm gonna add in pages, almost make it like a journal. So now you could journal. You can knock out, hey, these are my 3 things I'm gonna do today. These are my thoughts for the day. This is how I'm gonna plan my day tomorrow. So I just gotta add a couple more pages, you know what I'm saying, just to beef it up. And I'm gonna make it for the whole year.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And why we do things like that, I'll give y'all even more context
2024
of a breakdown is because a lot of people and a lot of entrepreneurs make the mistake of only targeting entrepreneurs or people that want to be interested in entrepreneurs. I want the people that have the security of the job already too. Give me that 9-to-5 money. You know what I'm saying? How can I make it relatable to somebody that's still in a 9-to-5?
Yeah.
And that's what that physical workbook kind of does, is because there's a chapter or 2 in there for them saying, hey, this is what you're fixing. This is what you're going about with certain things. And so even when it relates to the podcast itself, we still have outlets and branches of opportunity for people to really extend themselves. Like, okay, cool. I don't have to leave my job in order to increase my mindset. I don't have to leave my job in order to do this and that. Somebody who I had come on as a coaching client got me a bigger client for their company, which is a car company. I can't say the name, but he's an employee for this company. And he's like, hey, how do I get better at commissions? Just because he was able to find out what I do. And so I wasn't trying to make him build his own business or anything like that or whatever. I tried to get him to think differently.
Yeah.
And so packaging the monetization of a thought is what that really turned into. And then his company came back on the back end. And so this is a play. This is some Mario Armstrong type shit. You know what I'm saying? And they were like, yo, one of our workers just increased his sales by about 50%. We need you to do that for our entire department.
Let's go.
Boom.
Let's go.
Here's $70K. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And so that's what it is.
And that's why you got to stay in proximity, bro. It's like, what you got to realize, y'all, is you got to be around people that inspire you, however you can be around them. So maybe this individual, you may not even be able to physically be around them. But what if they got heavy YouTube content? What if they got a album? What if they got an ebook? What if they got an audio book? You know what I'm saying? What if they're speaking at an event? Or let's say you at an event and y'all network, there's some chemistry. How can y'all still do things after that event? You know what I'm saying? Maybe if this person lives in your city, y'all linked up, how can y'all come together more? You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's important, because like it's gonna rise to the top and you'll be able to add to each other. Or maybe just learn through osmosis by just being in proximity.
Correct.
And I feel like that's where a lot of people drop the ball, because they get so comfortable doing the same thing over and over, staying in their environment, staying around people that aren't winning on their level. And they're afraid to go to that next room or be around the next people that they're now at the bottom, so they can now learn to get back to the top in that next area.
Correct. Yeah. And a lot of these new game entrepreneurs are so quick to go for a transactional sale.
Yeah.
Where they don't even understand the value of the relationship where they have to do their due diligence. Because don't get me wrong, some people, you got to charge them, and it's nothing personal. You know what I'm saying? It's just business at the end of the day. But some people really add to your bottom line, and they're like, okay, nah, I vibe on the same type of frequency as this individual. Why would I charge them when I have an audience, they have an audience, I got knowledge and skill set, they got knowledge and skill set. How can we come together to really multiply our earnings through whatever method we come up with?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also, man, I wouldn't be afraid to, one of my mentors early on, like right before I left real estate, he was talking about buying his relationships. And I was like, yo, the way he said it, I was like, yo, he's smart, bro. So like, you know, like, he wanted to get in a room with like Grant Cardone. He wanted to get in a room with Brad Lee. He wanted to get in a room with some of these high-level entrepreneurs, right? He just bought either their highest offer or just bought an offer that just made sense, that he got some of their time. And he was able to obviously get the value for whatever that package was, but he was also able to plant that seed, build that relationship. He has live events, boom, circumvent that. They speak at the live event, strengthen the relationship. They do content together. He's giving to their audience. They're giving to his audience. He dropped the bag, 20K, 30K, 15K, whatever it is. But it's strategic. You got to know that I'm going to get that money on the back end. Like, how many products you got? Maybe you got a 5K offer. You pay 20. That's 4 sales. It's not 20,000. It's 4 sales. And just 5 sales, I'm a ROI. Well, what do you get from that? I got this relationship now. I can keep making the money.
100%.
We can do a collab. His audience now knows who I am. We do an email JV. He did a text blast for me. Boom. I was on his podcast. He's on my podcast. It's just so much stuff that you can do when you don't get caught up on the money. The money's not even the biggest thing.
And I'm glad you brought it up in that way, because I'm going to share something. I'm not going to name drop them because they might definitely watch this, but just to show an example of leveraging or buying a relationship. You know, I met somebody in a LinkedIn environment, and we talked, we had a conversation and everything. And I was like, yo, you know, I got a podcast and this and that. And they're more so on the corporate / business side of the world. And so they were like, oh, okay, cool. You know, it's cool or whatever, you know, but you could tell when somebody's not really with it like that. And so I said, hey, I see your consultation rate is this price. Basically, all I'm going to do is ask you some questions. And so if you come on this interview, I have no problem paying you your consultation rate. And so that's when it made sense for them automatically. And they said, oh, okay, cool. And so I didn't even tell Dan this, you know what I'm saying? So I came out of pocket, paid this individual. They came on, they sat down, realized my personality, my genuinity, and we just clicked off. And then they were like, yo, we got to do this. 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 And I immediately, within the first maybe month, made that money back times like 2 or 3
of course,
that I spent, because I took time to really point out that relationship and invest in it. Yeah. Not from a standpoint of, I didn't make it seem as if I was buying something from them, but just telling them like, hey, I'm willing to invest in you.
You did a reposition. Yeah, you did a reposition of the offer.
And that was super powerful.
100%. And people got to realize that. You know, politicians do it all the time. It's called lobbying. That's what they call lobbying. You know what I'm saying? You just got to realize that, like, wealthy people don't get caught up on the money.
Yep.
The money's going to circulate.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? You just got to invest the money in things that's going to bring back more money and more opportunities. And I think, you know, that's really what it's about going into the new year. And I feel like people need to be around more environments that are more suitable to, you know, promoting that type of growth.
Facts.
Or showing new opportunities on how, hey, listen, bro, like what you got going on is cool. Just pivot this way a little bit or add this to the fold. You know what I mean? Like, I'm excited about going into the new year with opportunities to learn at least 3-4 new things. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to grow. So when I'm going to be spending time in these different areas are things that I weren't doing in 2023. So that means I'm going to be even more valuable, more powerful in 2024. Still growing the things that I'm growing, but now I'm going in there with like more information about other areas.
And so,
you know?
I want to say, you know, last question. You being one of the
go all night, bro.
Facts. You being one of the pioneers for, you know, just podcast advocation and really just taking podcasting to the next level and making people understand like, hey, this is what you can really get through these type of outlets. How do you set yourself up to create new ways of promotion? And what do you have planned going into 2024?
That's a good question, yo. And then I'm gonna ask you a question like, why you call me a pioneer? So you gotta answer that one after. So new avenues, right? So one of my things, one of my plans is to go on a tour, the Black Podcasters Tour. So hopefully you'll join me on at least one of the spots. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So the Black Podcasters Tour, which is a mix of 5 things. Education, so actually doing a live workshop, doing a live podcast, guesting on a podcast, speaking out of college, and then documenting the entire thing. So that's one way that 2024 is gonna be different in terms of exposure. Number 2 would be paying to get on bigger platforms, you know, specifically podcasts. Number 3 would be getting on more stages. I think this year, I got 2 more left, which is crazy. So I did 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so I got these 3.
Yeah, we just saw you at CreditCon.
Yeah, I was at CreditCon with Credit Summit. Shout out to Darain.
Credit Summit, yeah.
So then we got the Wealth Mastery right after. We got FamCon right after. So those 3. And then I was at Marcus's joint, so that's 4. So I think I did 5. Once it's all done, I have 5.
Wow.
So I'm gonna at least double that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My first one is PodFest. That's in January, back in Orlando. So I'll be here in January at PodFest. So I think doing more speaking events, and I'm planning on doing two TEDx events next year. One internationally, one domestic. Yo, did you know that Ted wasn't a real person?
Yeah.
I just found that out yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I just found out Ted wasn't a real person.
Yeah, nah.
That's crazy. So more speaking events, hitting international, doing a tour, paying to get on different stages. Oh yeah, and then my cheat code is gonna be my YouTube. Yeah. So those are my plans.
Okay, that's dope. And to answer your question, why I call you a pioneer is people that are constantly experimenting and it's hitting, not just random experimentation and throwing things out there just to stack a level of money, but really, you know, when I forget the Wright brothers, I guess when they were making like the planes and everything like that, they had a bunch of different experiments, but that's what they were coined for. That's what they were known for, is really just driving that category. And it's not necessarily that they made it the best. It's not necessarily that they sold the most, that they did all of these type of things, but being prominently known for something is being a pioneer within that category. Because when I think, you know, and that's making your name synonymous with the category. When I think podcast, you know, and I have dove into a lot of different ones at this point now. I've never watched an actual episode of your podcast, but the moment I say the word podcast, Brendan pops up in that conversation.
I received that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I received that. One last thing I want to give your audience is the idea that one of the best ways to monetize your podcast, especially 2024, as a podcaster or someone who's looking to launch a podcast, I'm gonna just give this to them, is through a government contract.
That's been coming up a lot lately too.
Government contract. So they're like, yo, what's that? So basically, the government is the biggest consumer. United States of America is a corporation. You can register either your existing business or start a new LLC just for a government contracting division of your business. And then what you want to do is submit. I mean, there's a whole methodology. I'm just giving y'all an overview, but submit to receive a government contract, and all you got to do is fulfill it. So let's say, you know, this department, they just need tissue. So now you're going to be fulfilling that. So now your podcast has a government contract to fulfill tissue to this vendor, and that contract is worth 5 figures or 6 figures. Now your podcast is instantly monetized.
You had a conversation with Preston?
Nah, with Cheese.
Okay, yeah. Preston was I met him at the podcast summit too, and he was going crazy with the government contract.
Yeah. So that's one of the things I'm gonna do in 2024. But I wanted to give y'all that because it's instantly how you can monetize your show. Mm-hmm. You ain't got to do nothing else. But if you align, find one that makes sense, your bid gets accepted, that contract is good for the year.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Nah, that's dope. Well, Cameo B, as I call you, you know what I'm saying? You gotta. Hey, where did we get that from? I think we got on live one day and we had glasses and you put your glasses on and then Shorty came on, put her glasses on.
Everybody had the glasses on. That was a very funny live, bro. That was a dope one.
Facts, but. Hey man, I appreciate you just, always being transparent, always being a student and a teacher at the same time, and just sharing your knowledge with my audience and broadening the horizon of what podcasting and the abilities and products, monetization, everything you can get from it. So, where can everybody find you at if they really want to tap in with you?
Yeah, man. So y'all can go to @It's Brendan Boyd on all platforms. ITS Brendan Boyd. And I want to give y'all two things. If you're looking to launch a podcast, I got a free program. 100kpodcastprogram.com. That's 100kpodcastprogram.com. Completely free. It's a course. Go crazy in there. And if you want to monetize your show, I got a free workshop every single Thursday and it's live. So week to week, it's different. It's a different vibe. And for there, what you want to do is go to Podcast 2 Profits, podcast2profits.live. And take advantage of all that information. And I promise you, if you're like Rich, you're going to monetize immediately from that workshop. So I would jump in there.
Absolutely, man. Well, y'all already know it's been another episode of Attractive Mindset. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and it's Moneybag Rich here. And as we always say, we look good, we live good, life is good. Talk to us, we talk back. We out of here.